So we've got Miss Mosby. She's got her algebra class here, and she's all sorts of data collected, and she made it into these parallel box and whisker charts to kind of compare how they're doing. So the first question is, what's the range of period 2? Now it looks like when you're looking here, this is about 40 and about 100, and we're looking for the range, right? It's real common to say that the range is 40 to 100 because that's how we use it, kind of like traditionally use the word range. But when we're talking about box and whiskers, we want to say the high number minus the low number, and we'll get an answer of 60. So 60 tells you like how far apart the two numbers are. So 60 is the range of that number, not 40 to 100. Which class has 25% of their students above 80%? So I'm going to look at third period right here, and I'm just going to highlight 80%, 80%. Right? So two of them are kind of there at 80%. Right? This one right here is the median, so it means that there's 25 and 25%. So there's two parts of the box and whisker above. So this class has 50% of their class above 80%. If I look at second period, they only have, since each one of these parts represent 25% of the whole, right? Only 25% of their data is above 100, above 80%. So second period is like that. What percentage of the students in their first period class have a score higher than 65%? So 65% is right here. And what we want to do is we want to count up how many. So we have 1, 2, 3 quartiles above, and each of those represent 25%. So 75% of her students have a score higher than a 65%. The last question is, how would you find for her third period class, how would you find the interquartile range? Now, interquartile range is very much like range. We're trying to figure out the difference between the top and the bottom. But we're talking about the quartiles now. So I'm going to highlight the quartiles in green right here. So those two quartiles, we want to find the range between them. So what I would do is I'm going to subtract the third quartile from the first quartile. And that number will get me my range. So I'm just going to come up with estimates here. That looks about like 85, and that looks about like 72, the third quartile and the first quartile. So when I subtract those, I get 13, and that is the interquartile range.